Welcome back to the Next Level Official Podcast, where we talk about the biggest happenings in entertainment, gaming, culture. With that, please, if you've been watching us before, jump in, drop a like, get a subscribe. Also, drop some comments and let us know what's going on and things that interest you. We got the squad here. I'm Speedy. We got Noob Face and Palo in the background here. Ready to go.
What up?
Biggest topic of the week, gents. I'm going to throw this out here right here for you guys.
It's my regular voice.
How sexy was that thumbnail pic on our last video?
Wow. I don't know.
Oh, you mean the one where we lost viewers?
Yours truly, head in the front, carrying you guys.
Wow.
Dropping it out there, bro.
I hope you took some aspirin after carrying that.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was some funny stuff. I know. I gotta get myself all beautified up here for us. We got Palo now. We can actually
I thought to myself,
body.
did you actually? Yeah,
See
I
his
was like,
body now.
I know, man. No longer calling him Jambi. He looks awesome.
Man.
Hey, Jordy finally fixed the area, so we're good now.
I went out, got some beard oil. It felt like So Glow just all over my face, touching shirts.
So
leaving
glow, I
marks.
like that.
Just so. So funny stuff going around. So what we'll do here is we'll kick it off. And the first things that I found interesting, one of the games that I know New Face and I have been playing constantly on PlayStation 5 is Ghost of Tsushima. They just dropped it. They're talking about new information about
Yes, 5.
date. Did I say 5?
You did say 5.
You know what? I was thinking of something else. But Ghost of
You're thinking of PS5,
I was
and that's okay.
thinking of. Yeah, I was. Because you know
He's
why?
so
It's
ready.
in my brain,
He's so
dude.
ready
It's
for
on.
that PS5.
I know.
I'm
Sorry,
ready for it,
planting the
dude.
seed.
You know
Play
why? Because
Sony's right here.
honestly, I've already made the decision. If I'm going to spend any cash, it's going to be that. And we'll there's a topic that's going to come up that really kind of just felt, kicked it over.
You're more excited about that.
I am.
Yeah, I feel you.
It did really make me more excited. So with Ghost of Tsushima that's coming out, they're dropping multiplayer finally. It's been a kind of a single player campaign. I'm about halfway through it. I know Noob's making some hayway in the first portion. He's always bringing up the rear.
Dang.
That's what I like.
It's pretty interesting. They're going to add some kind of co-op play modes, some kind of survival aspects between 2 and 4. The video looks legit. The classes that are going to be out there, Noob, are you excited about it? What you got?
I'm super excited, man. So yes, I have not been playing as much because I truly, wholeheartedly blame Bello because he got me back into Destiny, and it's his
told you, dude.
It's his fault.
Sucks your
It's
luck.
his fault.
Speedy, you're coming back in November, man.
You're coming back in November, bro. So let's
you,
chill.
I will tell you now, you're gonna have to get the backpack out and put me in it because I'm just not gonna spend the time needed.
Bello did that for me, but then once I put boots to asses, bro, I was yeah, I was like, bro, that's it, bro. That's all I need.
It just takes so much time, dude, and there's so many good games out there right now. Just kind of into this next portion, getting
there
it.
is.
And so
I know.
Tell me.
You know what? But Destiny is just so much fun. I think just set aside really quick. The only thing that makes Destiny so much fun is playing with your friends. And doing the grind together and having that experience together is honestly what makes that game fun.
Yeah.
So jumping it right into Ghost of Tsushima, the whole cool thing about this new Legends focuses on some mythology, but the cool thing of this update is supposed to be coming in autumn, right? Do that right, autumn.
Fall.
So basically, it's going to be 2 players can partake in a co-op, I believe, strictly story mission-driven kind of deal, which seems really cool. I think it's really good for the game, just considering it's already great solo. So being that they're opening up these options for co-op, there's also a 4-player survival type mode where you're just fighting hordes of enemies, which I think is really, really cool, especially in the samurai sense, being able to, just start attacking people left and right. And you'll be able to pick from 4 character classes. So out of those classes, we have samurais, we have hunter, we have ronin, and the assassin, which all look completely different. So I think it's up to your play style, your flavor is really going to showcase, especially when you do some 4-player or that kind of deal. So I'm really looking forward to it, man. What about you?
Well, that's gonna be you and Speedy on that one.
I know.
Well, the thing about this game is it's just very interactive. Well, most people can say like, "Hey, fighting hordes isn't all that exciting." Like the class of for those that haven't gotten into the game, you can change your stances, how you attack a person. Like there's different advantages. So I just picked it up. I had put it down for a little while because we were playing a bunch of other new things. We were playing Rogue, having some good times, berating some other people online with that, and it just I lost some of the feel to the game, and so it took me a little while to come back to it. But there's so many different weapons, so many things to do. It's just really exciting, and I'm just glad that to see such a really good title that PlayStation's put out that's on their own. I like those exclusive titles that kind of really show you the make of the system. And so like with that news, PlayStation in the battle that is between Xbox and PlayStation just released their first video, really their first commercial, kind of giving you an idea of some of the attributes that their system's going to have, other than just looking at main hardware. Like a big facet of it is going to be the controller. And so, gents, and those that are out there, please drop a comment if you hear what's most exciting. Like this, the new controller, I feel is like going to be this monumental leap ahead with PlayStation and some of the feels, because like they're going to have these more haptic feedback where you can feel the differences in weapons, the vibrations. It said that like in first person shooters you could feel the difference between different types of weapons that you'll be utilizing, even the gun jamming. I mean, that gets me excited.
I mean, I honestly, like, I think it's really cool. I think it's going to be a nice feature. I honestly would have to feel it in action to see if it's actually worthwhile, because in all honesty, my iPhone does haptic feedback and I'm not really that interested. But like I said, it's mobile. It's not that big of a thing.
This coming from the guy that wants everything on his phone.
Which you have Apple, so they're just picking the
that's another episode, ladies and gentlemen. But my whole thing is like, we'll just I mean,
okay, so you say that, and then Pale, please jump in here. If you had two controllers, like back in the day when PlayStation first came out with the Rumble Pack on their stuff, which controller were you going to be playing with? Were you going to be playing with the one that has no feedback or the one that actually does?
Well, to be honest, I mean, even like on my Xbox controller, like it has that function. I turn it off because it's more distracting than it is like engrossing me into the game itself.
Well, it's because it's just a straight vibration. It's not telling you like if by chance when you were playing it and your gun jammed and you felt that through the controller before it actually showed the animation, would it make a difference?
I would make a difference because I would get fucking pissed off and think my controller's fucking up, and I'd probably throw it across the room and be like, "What the fuck, man? I just paid $60 for this piece of shit controller and it's jamming up on me." Ah!
So let's mark this down on the register here that Noob is not interested in it, so that when it does release and then he's on here creaming all over the place about it.
Wow.
We're going to come back, and this is going to be like one of those like, TV reality shows where they come back and they show you the clip. I'm going to pull this clip right
Call me agua fresca. No, man, I mean, but seriously, I'm curious. I want to see what happens. I want to see how it plays out. I really, the way it's being described, I really think it's going to take it to the next level in the sense of that.
Do you think it's something that can beat out like another little tiny feature that just beats out Xbox, other than the fact that they're not going to have Halo? But
is this a tiny feature? Like, what is the thing that you interact the most with in a system? Like, people go out and buy like crazy different controllers, mouse pads, wheels, and everything because they want a certain setup. Like, we haven't seen it.
Here's the truth. I think PlayStation players really want an Xbox controller, because in all honesty, I'm not gonna lie, Xbox controller to me is the standard by which all controllers should be measured, because I think they are just a fucking phenomenal controller.
I don't think it's a phenomenal.
Because Speedy has the little hands. He does.
He has little baby hands.
Look at these hands.
Come out. And he's like, "You're
And I got the
magnifying
pants
it.
to match.
You're magnifying it."
Right.
I will tell you, I prefer a PlayStation controller over an Xbox One because
Really? Because your aim says different.
Oh, really? Do I need to put the rogue aim up in here, dude?
Oh, bro.
Palo, you should have seen it. I was following Noob, and he was just like
Bro.
shooting everywhere. The guy was like standing with his back turned to me, hit the wall and everything. And then
At the end of the game,
but
but I still had like 15 kills. I was like,
He was like that guy in Pulp Fiction when he's shooting at John Travolta.
yeah, he's all coming in. The wall sprayed.
oh man. So I think this is going to be a really good. I think this is going to be a really good testament to see like what it is they bring to the table. Because in all honesty, if PlayStation can capitalize on something like this, and let's not doubt, PlayStation honestly has had a really good run. They've dominated the retail scene, especially when it comes to the console wars. And as much as I hate to admit, because I do love Xbox, PlayStation has always seemed to deliver. And that I think is the biggest thing.
There's like, I love my Xbox. I think Xbox does a lot of really good things, but when you're talking about console sales, the number one, like in the top 5, Microsoft is nowhere near in the top 5 when it comes to any console sales. And it's funny that PlayStation 2 and then the 4 are in the top 5. So like when you have all these fanboys talking about like what's better, like, oh, the Xbox One, this, to me, like they operate so close to each other. It's really about the game and how you interact with the game that really makes a difference to me. And so, you know, the battle will always be out there. I'm glad that like we can cross the lines in some aspects where we play a lot of the same stuff together and, you know, the same systems and stuff.
Right.
I'm just really interested in seeing some of the things and just the information that we've heard on these controllers. Like I know New's been talking about the new Miles Morales game that's going to be coming out there, like having the Spidey sense and being able to tell what direction it's coming from based on just using your controller and where you're looking at. I mean, I think that's badass.
I mean, that's
because look how many accessories out there. Like people buy these packs and shit and wear them all over so they can feel the vibrations. They're in chairs that vibrate. I mean, like the controllers were first where it starts.
Yeah, but the one you got was not PlayStation related.
Totally different interface. Totally
different GUI, guys.
Totally.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? I mean, you're right about that. And I guess it's different for us. I think it's different for us because in all honesty, I mean, you know, being gamers, we're not really, you know, we're not the type, we're not the type of gamers who buy the backpacks, who do this, that, you know, the gaming chairs, you know, in a sense it has like a rumble or like a vibration or the boost sound.
Wait,
but
did he say gaming chairs? I think of the 40-year-old virgin when he's playing Tony Hawk's.
Yeah, but I mean that's whole part of the deal. But there are definitely people who love to focus on these accessories, and I just, you know, like I said, I mean, with PlayStation having this kind of integration is going to be really cool. This type of feature is going to be really nice. I'm just curious to see how well it ties into a game.
We'll see. So it's going to be coming out pretty soon, and I'm excited about those types of things. And so,
are you going to be getting a PS5? Are you thinking you might do a PS5 or what, man?
No.
I think he is this time. I think he's going to go with Xbox and PlayStation. I have a feeling.
Controller. No, I'm still Xbox.
I mean, I don't blame you.
If I'm gonna waste a chunk of money, you know, and I'm not gonna have that chunk of money later on, I'm gonna just wait and do Xbox.
So there was also rumors too of price points that were released. We didn't really talk about it because there was nothing substantiated, but the rumors that you're looking at a $499 and a $399 price, but Xbox is going to kind of get underneath there with their digital all content. It was supposed to be like $299.
$299, yeah.
$299. So they might be trying to pull a fast one over the wars, like, hey, the flagship is still the same price, but hey, come over here for the digital content. So
for the digital content one, that's still going to have the same power and the same process.
No,
oh, it's different.
That's where you get that.
It's like
that's the kicker.
The new Xbox One, right? Whatever it's like the S
it's like Android and Apple kind of. If you want flagship, kind of. I'm just kidding. I'm just
Star Wars, Star Trek.
Can I vote? Can I?
Yeah. Oh wow.
Man,
okay.
so
Okay.
that,
So
that battle will always continue. So
Every single episode.
every episode until they come out and we get our hands on it. That's what's going to happen.
yeah, we'll have to
So,
really talk about that when it comes out for
it-
sure. So
in the background, you still got Nintendo working their little magic, trying to go. One of the things that I want to talk about is that they always do like these really good releases, and so one of the ones that I just wanted to highlight was Raja and Ancient Epic. And the only reason why I wanted to talk about it, it's because it's one of those like kind of independent games. It's going to come out later on Xbox, so it's not in PlayStation and computer, so it's not an exclusive, but it just shows like some of the content Nintendo's doing. It's third person kind of action adventure, but it looks beautiful, and I love when Nintendo does like has those types of engaging games that are beautiful just by their color dynamics and not necessarily like the awesome Halo Infinite graphics that we saw. You know, they can show they can still
oh
compete.
wow, that was a good
Oh.
jab. Damn.
Ooh.
Okay. Okay.
Bop it,
No,
weave,
and
man.
that's
Bop
well
it,
said.
weave.
And I think it's a fair statement only because Nintendo does put out some really good games. And even I think what makes Nintendo so unique is not only the portability but their capability, and they've somehow managed to keep themselves in the game really well, very well.
Like
Bella,
Bella likes playing with Nintendo.
are you Bella? What's your
I don't
thoughts
even have
on?
Nintendo. I don't even have a Nintendo.
God, man, what the
You never
hell?
had a Nintendo in your life?
You never had Nintendo in your
no,
life,
no.
man?
You don't love Nintendo?
I had
Is that the foundation of your
I had
gaming
the
career?
original Nintendo.
And we all did, bro. Let's talk
And I
about
had
it.
a Wii, but that was it. I mean,
Do you ever hack a Wii? Do you ever mod a Wii or anything? All right, never
maybe.
mind.
Did you ever
Jesus.
touch
Maybe.
a Wii
Did you ever touch the Wii?
inappropriately?
Oh wow.
Did you do things to it?
Show me
Is that
here
why we don't
where
like
it
talking
touched
about
you.
It's-
Show me here where it touched you. Just show me. Show me here. So and I think that's one of the cool things about Nintendo, and I honestly think it's one of the things that kind of separates Nintendo from really becoming a part of a console war. Because in all honesty, it's always PlayStation and Xbox.
And they're like the cousins of like the console war. Like they're there and they bring some random stuff that's like pretty good and it's pretty legit, but it's never like boom like Halo.
You're right.
But it's still some decent stuff that's coming out of it, and it's still there.
Right. It's like, it reminds me of, you ever see like a ton of drama that's always in the tabloids for like celebrities, it's just constant slander, constant shit talking. But then you have like those couples you forget that have aged well and they're doing great 30 years. And
fine wine.
You'll just see a post that's like, yo, Tom Hanks and so 40 years strong. Boom.
Who's the so and so? Who's the so and so? Who is it? Reed Wilson.
There you go. And the thing is, like, but that's my whole thing. It's like that's where Nintendo is. They just sit back and they just age. They don't want to get in the drama. They don't need to prove anything to anybody. Exactly. They just do their own shit. They just do what they need to do to stay with the times, which I think they've done a great job. But their game delivery, I mean, bro, the games that they put out on a fucking small little cartridge, still, it's awesome.
Well, I mean, they found their knack, dude. Like
it's just definitely them.
When they went to that generation right after the the SNES, the SNES, they basically found that like people love their portables, all right, and they just like they've been trying to like through iterations make that portable into such a powerful device, and the Switch is it, man. Like I think they did a really great job there when it comes to it, and I feel like that's where Microsoft sees its next area into is that portable, and that's why they're working so hard with that project. What was it, Cloud X
Project
or
X?
X Cloud,
because utilize the systems that are already out there to play your own games, and so like then they can compete. Like, hey, portability, but better graphics, better titles. Maybe that's where they're trying to get into. So
Noob, when he wants to play Destiny in the toilet,
he does.
I was gonna say.
He's like, I got that exotic. Where's Zerg?
No,
find him.
No, it's so funny. I was gonna say like with
I'm dropping an engram.
No one wants these blues. No one wants these blues. Come on.
Oh, guy. Oh, that was nothing, guys. Just a little brat dust. Just a little brat dust. Just a little sprinkle.
It's like I
So-
run the Iron Banner from the Iron Throne.
There you go. There you go.
When John goes in the bathroom, he calls it the Crucible.
It is. It's like,
So hot, so hot.
get it out.
So aside from the Nintendo game that we've got talking about, we've also got some news with Halo. Speaking of which, Halo took a big backseat, but it's not the backseat that's the problem. It's their excuse.
Did you put
Wait
him
a
in the
minute.
back seat? Where were you?
Oh,
What were you
them-
doing with them in the
What,
back?
man, you seem really familiar with back seats, bro. What's going on?
Oh, as if you're so shy. You're so shy, Speedy. You sure?
That's why we got trucks, bro, with the big back
That's
seats.
right. That's how I got them 4x4s.
Oh,
But the whole essence of Halo lore is it. You know what? I'm not gonna lie, it's starting to piss me off. 343. Yeah, man.
Do you think
it's like,
343 has jacked up Halo
yes.
since it dropped,
Under the
right?
bar.
Like,
Since Halo 4,
mhm.
I think they
Yeah.
fucked it up. And
Yeah.
I think they keep dropping the ball. Halo 4, I thought the story was really good. But when Master Chief Collection came out, I think, honestly, that is when it really hit me that I don't know what it is that they're doing. Because, dude, I remember when it came out, I had the day off for work the following day. I loaded it up. It was ready to go. As soon as it dropped, I was literally able to play one game.
I remember you and
entire-
OJ were talking about
Yes.
it constantly.
Yeah, the entire night was spent trying to get into just another matchmaking, right? But here's the kicker. It wasn't because there were so many people and the servers were flooded. No, bro. Because there was a flipping known glitch. There was a known problem and no one could play. It was so difficult and it pissed me off because it was like they knew what was going to happen and they released it anyway, right? They had the fix like 48 hours later, which still made multiplayer choppy, right? But it was manageable, right? And then what now they're just constantly fixing it, right? And I just have a feeling that's what they're doing with Halo Infinite. I have a feeling that they were going to release a non-ready game, right? And it got blasted. And now we're using these pseudo excuses to cover their tracks, which is complete bullshit. I mean, has anybody ever blamed, outsourcing because of a TV or leaked news or I mean, it's such bullshit, man.
So, I mean, the word is basically what they're saying is that they had too many subcontractors and they just couldn't get them all aligned to make it. I'm like, dude, that's 101 project management, baby. Like,
right.
you
Yeah.
can't do that with the big boys on a AAA title. Like, why are you outsourcing so much? And just the fact, like, I'm not as big as fanboy. Like, I don't know if Halo is with Halo or not. Like, I know you are and you loved it, and like you and OJ.
No, I mean I played every Halo title that was out there, and I'm in the same boat as Noob. When stuff like that gives you just a sour taste, it's just
I just feel
I
like I've
sweat
always-
when I play multiplayer. I sweat because I'm super competitive.
It has
Not because I
nothing to
play
do with
naked.
his lymph
that's,
nodes
No.
at
that's
all.
something
not
you need
because
to see
I
a
played-
doctor for, not
Yeah, no, it's not because I play naked in the sauna and I
They
want to
make
feel like Master Chief,
medication for that. You know that, right?
but I don't need it.
Get
But
to
I
a
refuse
doctor.
it. I
I
refuse
love you,
it.
bro. Get to a doctor.
I refuse it. But
it's because you're eating too many of the chunky cookies.
I just
It
remember
is your
like
fault, bro.
when Bungie
You're
had it,
welcome.
at least I felt like there was every time a Halo came out, there was an advancement in something, some mechanic, something. And then
Right.
when 343 had it and the came out, like, dude, I remember playing it with you guys and I was just like, this doesn't feel bulky. Like, I feel like that these characters are
Halo
like,
4
I
was
just
so
didn't
choppy.
feel it. I
Yeah.
just
Yes.
didn't feel
Yeah.
anything. And so like the biggest disappointment was like when Microsoft was hanging their hat on this title moving forward, and they were gonna like with everything else, you got all this nostalgia behind it. Like all the fanboys are gonna come running out, and maybe it's gonna help them buy that system. It just didn't look like an advance. It looked like I could still play that on the Xbox right now, and it wouldn't be that big of a loss like going into the next generation. So
Yes, I agree with you, man. My whole, if you think about it like this, Destiny. Let's just take Destiny, right? Bungie, I'm pretty confident makes 75% of that game. If they use any outsourcing whatsoever, I'm pretty sure Bungie does majority, right? And I only say that because if you play Halo 3 and you play Destiny, the quality is the same. quality is the same through and through. And I think it's because of that confidence in Bungie, but it's because they know what they're doing, right? But with 343, there's the only consistency is the issues. And I think that's what people remember as gamers, right?
Yeah.
If you're a customer going into Best Buy and you have a bad experience, you're most likely going to tell somebody, a friend or relative, that, dude, I just had a really shitty experience, and it's just going to travel, as opposed to a good experience, right? And I kind of feel that's the way it is with Halo and 343. You know, gamers are pissed off, man.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw that trailer, some of the stuff, it just reminded me, like, man, freaking Halo's turning into like a weird version of Fortnite. Like, it's just, no, it looked ugly.
I
I
agree
just
with
didn't
you.
see anything that
Just
just
take the
made-
blame. You know, they need to take the blame, and that's.
I'm glad that they just at least were going, like, I would like to say they made that decision to not drop the game, but I think it was just way past their hands at some point. So like the train had already left and they just had no choice other than just to say it. So from one bombshell to the next bombshell, I know Palo and Noob are super excited. Rogue is going to hit on demand in digital on August 28th.
Oh.
Girl Megan Fox taking the lead role.
Megan
Special
who?
Ops?
I'm gonna walk away.
Special Ops.
So I don't know if you guys remember, but there is this actor. Actually, what's her? Oh my God, what is her character in The Mandalorian? Something Dune, Carissa Dune, or
Are you talking about the
Gina Carano?
Gina
She's
Carano?
an MMA. Yeah, Gina Carano. She's the ex MMA fighter.
Yeah.
Right. Like. I remember when she went from MMA to making movies, right? And she had this movie called Haywire, right? And I knew it was going to be kind of a dud, but there was something about her that made it watchable, right? I mean, because her moves in, you know, MMA and whatnot, I mean, were legit, right? So, I mean, just the fighting itself, I liked it. I liked it. It was corny, but I liked it, right?
So, Palo, I'm hearing
I don't fucking like Megan Fox.
I'm trying to see where he's going with this.
I would rather see Gina Carano like do another type of one of those movies than I would Megan Fox in this.
I don't blame Megan Fox. I mean, we've seen the trailer, right?
Come on.
Yeah.
It just it's like one of those ones that you watch and you know it's going straight to DVD, kind of, you know, back in the day. But
instant cassettes.
We don't have DVD. Straight laser disc at the Blockbuster in the far back. But like when I see
two copies.
Well, yeah, and they're both there all the time.
They're both there all the time.
just put in the wrong section. It's like Rogue. We're gonna put this in Z's and W's.
It's like when you hold the movie and you're going to watch it, and then all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I've already seen this one. I'll watch this one again.
It's like when you ask the guy, you're like, hey, this is Mark's video recommendations for this month, and you don't see it on there, and you're like, all right, I'm going to take Mark's bottom choice, and I'm going to watch this one instead. Like, I don't blame Megan Fox for this because, you know, I don't know if I'm going to watch it or not. I blame the casting director because, like, when I see her,
the casting director,
yes,
or the movie.
Because like they're the ones that pick. Like we've watched plenty of movies where they show like castings, and then they show like multiple different people doing it, and then like you can see like how each person does it a slightly different, and then you really go, okay, now I understand why they picked that person because that person really did make the role. Like you've just seen people read lines. It looks like Megan Fox is just reading lines like, "Get in the train. We're gonna shoot in here, and I'm gonna be blasting." I'm like, really? Like. All 75 pounds of Megan Fox is going to be kicking indoors with an M16. Like,
listen, guys.
Gina Carano, or what it was her name? If she was doing this, I would watch it.
Yes,
because, like,
exactly.
Really, when I look at her, I feel like
a fighter. You see somebody who's, you know, and the first thing.
What, Halo? What? Who? What do you? Who? Say
it, bud. Say
it. I want to hear it. I'm getting all riled up. Let's hear it.
You want to see your thumbs, don't you? That's the whole thing. You want to see your thumbs on screen. I knew it.
No. I mean, I saw the trailer and it's thumbs, her. It doesn't look like the greatest story. So and just, you know, that's why they had to get Megan Fox and they couldn't, you know, get anything or anybody higher because they probably went to hire people. You know, like a B-lister at least.
Down the list.
Yeah, and they're like
last one, guys.
Betty
So
White's like,
Who
no.
yeah.
who's that
Betty
one
White, would you
redhead
please do
that's
this?
always talking
No.
about being on the the B list? She's that comedian. She's like Carrot
Oh, the one who
Top.
black. Oh, yeah, the one who like blacklisted herself.
Yeah, what's her
She was
name?
like begging for jobs. I
She
can't
had, like, a
remember
TV
anymore.
show.
Hold
She had
on,
like
hold on.
she had like a TV show. She's always redhead. She looks like she falls in that. She's in that same kind of category as like Andy Dick, her, like Carrot Top. Like they did one or two good movies, but they haven't really ever done anything. And I'm like, oh man, can you imagine her like doing it? Like it might be comedically funny enough to
Kathy
do it.
Griffin.
Kathy Griffin. There you go.
Yes,
Oh
dude.
my
Can you
So-
imagine
God.
if we like that would change it up?
That would-
But
I
there's
would
two
watch it.
problems. Two problems with
That's
this
like
movie
the tax
already.
collector, man.
Shut your mouth. This
I can see him in a serious role, and he tries to do.
Hey man,
No.
hey, rule of thumb,
No.
if you can't
No.
accept Shia
Rule of
at
thumb?
even Steven at
Rule-
even
Is that a
oh
pun?
wow.
Is that a
Yeah.
pun?
If you don't accept him as even Steven, you don't deserve him as creeper. You get your ass out, man. But here's the deal.
Oh, man.
Look,
Always
two
has to
main
be a
problems
creeper.
about this. Look, two main problems about this. One, exclusive red band trailer. Like whenever you hear a movie having a red band trailer, that's an automatic question.
Okay,
Because
what is a red band trailer?
red band trailer is just like a trailer that's been banned in other places, right? It's supposed to make it more like, ooh, we're seeing something that no one
No,
else
it's not.
sees. But
It got banned because it was just bad.
exactly. Second thing.
It wasn't shocking.
In the first line, Megan Fox, quote unquote Transformers, plays a battle-hardened mercenary. Since when?
That's what
It was
I'm
after
talking
Transformers.
about.
It was after Transformers.
It
It's a
is the
continuation
casting
and-
director's fault. Like, why are you gonna make a movie with? It's like if you would put Kathy Griffin in that role and be like, Kathy Griffin,
That's
ass
She's more
commando.
believable as a battle-hardened fucking person.
so bad.
He's fighting all those elites in Hollywood.
Yeah. Oh man, I could see her take a tumble. But exactly,
Tuck and
man.
roll.
So it's dropping next week. We may or may not ever see it. I'm interested in just seeing. Either like I feel like I'm gonna eat
Man,
popcorn and
it's
just
gonna
watch reviews of that movie. Like I'm just gonna be like,
it's gonna be noobs
Hmm.
top 5 list.
No. Speaking of, okay,
he's
real
gonna
quick.
watch it. I 100% guarantee it. He will watch it and he will tell us something about it.
No. So here's
He
the
mentioned another bad
Here's
movie he had watched.
His thing does. It was the greatest movie. It's the greatest movie in my
Give
life.
you
I can't
guys a
believe it.
look. That's
You gotta
fucked
look
up.
at the camera to give us the look.
I am. So it's so funny though. Speaking of this, because I just watched a movie with Vince Vaughn, and it was called oh my god.
Every same
Right.
movie character that Vince Vaughn has played.
No. That's
Dude,
what
he
was so
plays
funny
the
about- no,
same character every
I
movie.
know that. I
He's
know
one
that.
of those.
You're-
He's one of those actors that it's Vince Vaughn playing this character. Like you can't
Dude,
can't
you don't separate it.
himself. Yeah, you can't separate him as an actor like doing something.
Oh, here it
different.
is. Okay, this is no joke, man. No joke. Okay.
Here we go.
So
Here we go.
this movie reminds me of this whole Megan Fox
I'm gonna write it down
concept
'cause
deal.
gonna
But
watch
listen to
this
this.
movie now.
It's called Brawl in Cell Block 99. Okay. Now, the funny
What?
thing. Yes, check it out, dude. Let me tell you.
Oh my God.
It's a fucking cheesy movie.
I can't
I'm
look
not
at
gonna
you.
lie to you.
I can't
Listen.
You're one of my best friends. Like, how do you find these movies to
What's
begin with?
wrong
Like,
with you?
because I can't even
Okay.
find these bad movies when I'm looking on television just to find something like this.
It's some regular movies you watch. Okay.
Screaming
I've seen your-
nowhere.
Okay. Yours are no better than mine. Okay.
This
So
coming
check
from
it
the
out.
person that loves Star Wars.
Oh, coming from the guy who loves Star Trek,
Hey,
who
I love-
boldly
yeah,
wants to go
I have
where
great
no one's gone
taste.
before,
Yeah.
but goes everywhere everyone's been.
hey,
That's real good.
it's going to the theater
That's real good.
with their
No,
musical.
but no joke. So this was I watched this movie because I honestly liked the character that Vince Vaughn was, dude. He plays like this badass and actually pulls it off like really, really well. He gained
writing it
like
down
20
'cause I'm gonna
pounds- he
watch
gained
it.
like 20 pounds of muscle for this movie. But here's my point. The movie was released and it literally only made like 400,000. It had like a 1.6 million dollar budget. So it did like super shitty, right?
Was this an old movie or a recent movie?
This movie was actually released in September 2017. The box office, it only made no, I take that back. It only made $64,000. Right? But it had a really big budget. My whole point is that it's gonna make that movie right there already made more money than fucking Road.
We were getting to a punchline somewhere.
That was it. I'm throwing
it was a good journey.
Right
I'll give him that. It was a good journey.
I'm throwing it out there because, in all honesty, if you guys haven't seen a shit movie lately, but it's entertaining. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
You know what? I'm gonna watch it.
There's a scene where because you just need to watch it. There's some scenes in there where he's beating some ass, and like you see heads explode, but they're real cheesy, and you're like, what? Fix your shit.
You heard him say,
Speedy, fix your shit.
I will in a second. He said he's some ass.
He's ready to fall over, man.
I know.
Man. I couldn't stop when he said beating some ass.
You really got to check it out. I mean, and that's what's so funny because you don't really see Vince Vaughn as this type of character. You really don't see this Vince Vaughn, this type of character. But in all honesty, when you watch it, it's believable. More believable than Megan Fox is a fucking
bro. I will say I'll watch it just for that, and then we'll.
If you can find it, where are you gonna find it?
It was on Prime. Everything was on. It was on Amazon Prime movies.
Because
we were looking for some movies, and we saw this one movie called Arkansas, which was pretty decent. It was it wasn't bad. And then we saw the Brawl in Cellblock, and I was just.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna stop you there.
He said.
Let me give me this. Give me a minute.
Go for it.
I know we're in Corona, and I know times are tough. Our summer release day, our summer 2020 movie releases, gone. Stop watching crap movies. Stop watching crap movies. I'm not saying don't watch Star Trek. Stop watching crap movies, man. It's just the tax collector. Your Mr. Patterson. I mean,
wow, you're jumping on the Patterson train. Wow. Have you even seen it, Rob?
He masturbated to a ivory mermaid.
Why do you have to give away?
Dude. Wow. No one's gonna watch it. It was for 99 cents rental.
Wow. You see what I mean? You're hurting Speedy.
Oh my God.
We're trying to tell you that we care about you. And this is a disease, and you need to watch better things.
Oh my God. That's the funniest
and he's out.
Holy smokes.
Muted. I really want you guys to check it out.
You know what?
Tell me what you think.
Watch it.
Tell me
I'm gonna watch it.
Because you're gonna laugh. I mean, bro,
you're.
Oh, listen to this guy. When was the last time you watched a movie? Bello, what was the last movie you watched?
Probably Star Trek.
Which Star Trek? Explain.
The playlist of Star Trek that I have. Whole playlist. Just hit it on repeat.
Mm-hmm.
As I have the two of you just.
You need to expand your mind, sir.
Well, if we're gonna start expanding, why don't we start, expanding into DC?
All right, let's do that. Let's do it.
Okay.
Big news for this week.
Finally, some news about some good movies that are gonna be coming.
Okay.
So, and we're gonna. I'm just gonna tidbit on all of these because this was coming from DC Fandom today.
Tell people what was the DC Fandom all about?
The DC Fandom was this year's version of a Comic-Con, and so it was just a full lineup of all the different DC stuff coming up, either TV shows, movies, everything in between. But it was like a Comic-Con but without the big smelly guy next to you, And so it started at 12, and it was just rolling all one after another. Some of the things they talked about was Zack Snyder's Justice League, Wonder Woman 1984, the Suicide Squad, the Batman. I mean, there was games coming out. I mean, so it's everything that you would do in a regular Comic-Con, but virtually, which was just a lot easier. I watched maybe like the good first half of it. I think Speedy, you said you caught the rest of it. That was in the afternoon. So I mean, I liked it. It was interactive and it was just going.
I know Noob was out of pocket for a little while, but I will tell you that it's probably one of the better, probably the best experience I've had, like talking about comics and understanding what the stuff that was going to come out. Obviously, it's only DC, so it's not like a real Comic Con where you're going to have all these different flavors. But I thought it was so well produced, dude. Like it was interesting. The vignettes they had going on, like Palo said, like the times I've been to any of these types of conferences, it's always like you got the booths, you're running around checking out people in the costumes and stuff, and like the one thing that you wanted to watch or see, like there's been people that are like been there longer than you waiting in line, and they only have like an auditorium that's going to seat like 300, so you can't hear Zack Snyder talk about anything. And so like I thought this was so cool, it was so well done. Like
Yeah.
I learned so much more about DC than just the flagship guys that were out there, and it was just really exciting to see. In this, like, I think they made it, since they were like producing this for the world, they did it so culturally.
Yeah.
They had like people from all over the world talking, the different characters, and so I applaud DC for what they did. Like if they did this again and they actually charged you to do it, I would pay. Like that's how interesting it was. I don't know how much I would be willing to pay, but I
mean, I found it interactive. I mean, it's kind of like it was exactly like a Comic Con. They went, they talked about the movies, TV shows, and then they showed their appreciation towards their fans. They showed a bunch of people's fan art. It showed a lot of people doing their cosplay. I mean, they went a little bit back and forth. I mean, I like from what I saw this earlier on, I enjoyed it. Like I said, so they showed the first thing that they had shown was one of the hopefully it's going to be the last trailer for Wonder Woman 1984. Did you guys watch the trailer?
I did watch the trailer.
I thought it was
in slow motion.
You're just
watching. Is that like
still playing
song, right? Slow motion, or like
slow motion with you?
It's slow motion with you.
Oh God. Oh man. There's no recovery from that. I think Gal Gadot has always been a really good actress, and I think she pulls off probably the best Wonder Woman. And didn't we have this discussion one time, Bello? I don't know if it was, it might've been some time back, but I think we had this like DC
was it Pillow Talk?
Where Bello Talk. That's right.
Oh.
But the whole idea was that at the time there was a lot of disagreements with I think how well Wonder Woman was doing, and I think the way in the storyline that Justice League was taking, they were putting all the blame at one point on Wonder Woman, saying that it was that movie that was the whole reason that was throwing everything off, which I disagree. I
100% disagree.
I personally,
any of the movies.
Yeah. In all honesty, I personally feel that Wonder Woman is the main movie that's keeping DC afloat.
Yeah.
Is the way that Wonder Woman. And in all honesty, I really, really loved Man of Steel. I thought Man of Steel was amazing. Mm-hmm. I fucking loved Henry Cavill as
he's
Superman.
A great Superman.
Bro, he really is. And they really need to continue that, because there isn't a Man of Steel 2. It dove into an origin, and then that's when they went straight into, and they never really continued his arc. And I really think they need to focus on completing his arc.
From what I've heard, that's still on the table of Man of Steel 2, but nothing very soon. But I think they finally fixed up Henry Cavill's contract with DC and multiple movies.
Right.
Remember, there was a point where like he was just out, like he was just gone because his contract was done, and they weren't going to do anything more. But I think they finally fixed up his contract, and I think Man of Steel 2 is going to come back. He's obviously going to be coming back.
I hope so.
Well, I do too.
Great. Like it's a really hard mantle to that, especially that character, right? Superman,
and Batman as well, man.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of like the point is, like, once you get like one of those really iconic guys in there, it makes it really difficult to get that next person. And even Wonder Woman, like, if you go back, and that's what I also liked about DC's deal for today, is they paid a lot of homage to the history of the characters too, and those that had played it, and then how they moved forward. So I'm excited to see the the Wonder Woman 1984. Is that what it is? 74?
Yeah,
Yeah,
1984. Yeah.
But I just like the stylization behind it, and I thought like they did a really good job. I'm excited to see like another female director kind of going in, making her way.
Director.
Yeah, and writer producer too. For it, and so it's really good to see her vision and see it grow. I'm interested in seeing Kristen. Was it Kristen or Kirsten Wiig?
Kristen Wiig
As
Cheetah?
as the villain.
Yeah, well, because like she's never really had a really not that this is a serious role, but like it is a departure from the comic.
Well, I mean, yeah,
You know what
and
I mean?
right. It's a
From what
villain
you
type
would normally
role.
do.
Yeah, but I think I think she comes across with a really great way of syncing her comedic talent along with playing like a villain role. Because as you could see, like from the trailer, I thought she just pulled off some of that villain stuff very, very well,
It
but
looked good.
Yeah.
threw in her personality, which offsets the tone, but also completes Wonder Woman in itself, and so I'm excited. I really, really am.
That's what makes a good actor, actresses, is that they can grab onto a character and they can make it their own without it being like the same actors playing like different roles.
And that's what I'm talking about. Like when with Rogue, but this is much better level at this point. So that's one of the things. What else did we see, Pale, that was coming in?
So we also saw the Zack Snyder Justice League. Which
That's going to be amazing.
I mean, they finally came out with a trailer for it with some extra footage that, man, and most of that trailer was extra footage that I've seen after the movie and after the fact, and I'm like, and I always used to say, like, where was that? Like, where was that in the movie? Like, that would have made it so much of a deeper movie than what came out. And
well, everyone's clowning on Whedon's vision now because of Zack Snyder's release, but the whole thing. I mean, if we honestly think about it, right, Zack Snyder had to leave because he had a tragic event happen during the filming. So that was completely
they had to move forward.
They had to move forward, and it was completely understandable. And it wasn't to discredit Zack Snyder as his vision wasn't good enough by any means. But this is the problem, though, is that they knew they had this version and they knew it was really, really good. Now, in all honesty, if you have that on the table, personally, I feel like you need to throw that shit out there. I mean, look at the amount of attention people have been wanting this.
I can't remember any other movie that they've done this.
Right.
Not where they had like the director's cut, but like the other director that was here, make his own cut. There was so much, fans that just came
I think it's just because of the backlash that like DC fans have. Like they just don't have like I love Marvel and everyone can get into Marvel and that's just kind of like how it's always been. So like they're like the bandwagon group, right? Yeah. So in essence of it, like the main characters that they have, they're the intro into comics. And then like you see like all the hardliners are always DC, right? Like they always have like their version of something. And so their expectations were really hard. But not to say that, Will Wheaton did like a horrible job or not, but it's also kind of hard to step in to something that someone else has already been producing and then be expected to close it out with the magnitude that they were talking. And so like, I felt like constantly people were building up the Zack Snyder cut. And I'm like, man, this better be good or I'm just going to dump all over this thing. And
I mean, there's obviously some good attention behind it because when they finally, started doing it, I mean, the production company they're like, okay, well, here's another couple of, $1 million to do your own cut.
And so I'm saying I've seen the movie. I just wasn't really thrilled with it. Like, I just felt like they just didn't have some character arcs. Like, I really want to know more about Cyborg. You saw some of that in this. And like, first time in a while, like I can say I'm actually kind of excited to see this Zack Snyder cut.
So what it's supposed to be?
It's 4 hours.
4 hours, but like if I'm not mistaken, it's gonna be a multi-episode.
Which is good because I thought this was going to be another Lord of the Rings, and I was like, oh god, I'm gonna be falling asleep in the theater in my own chair this time because I can go to no theater.
So you think they're gonna just release it all at once, or it's gonna be like a week?
No.
So I'm really hoping it's HBO Max.
No, they're not going to drop it all at once.
What they're going to do, I think they're going to release it. I'm hoping what they do, in all honesty, is they release 2 hours, like on one Friday, and then the part 2 on the following Friday. Because I mean, in all honesty, though, what's the point of dragging it out?
Money.
money.
keep
But,
you
but
on.
what?
Like,
But I mean, it's a
it's like,
subscription. So I mean,
As
you have
long
the
as I don't have to pay
subscription.
$30 for it, then I'm fine.
well, because okay, so think about it.
So
Why are they bringing these people on? Because they want you to get that subscription. If you're only going to buy a month subscription and then bounce, like, what good is it?
so
to
what you
them?
think?
So,
So
like,
what you think they're going to release an hour a month?
No,
I
not a
mean, come
month.
on. But that's what I'm saying.
I don't
mean, like
know,
that would.
but like, I could see them separated. And because like, just look at what Disney's done with Mulan, right? Like, you got to have that, and then you got to pay for it. But you know, they
Yeah.
like, and same thing. I think we've gotten, and I'll say this too. I've gotten really spoiled with Netflix's way of dropping stuff, and so like they'll drop the whole season of everything, and so
Yeah.
now people we want
Other
the whole
people don't.
season. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, like most don't. Like Disney doesn't do it. Like how long?
Yeah.
have we-
Yeah.
CBS doesn't do it.
I thought I was gonna have that subscription only for a month and watch every Mandalorian and then be out. And like I was like, oh god, we gotta wait for another week. Oh,
Yeah.
so it feels like I'm just paying for TV again. So I think they're gonna
And it's
fight
the way
to
that,
find
the
that
way that a
model.
lot of those companies are going is that, that's how they keep you for that whole month. Because if you want to watch the whole thing, well, you're going to have to wait every week when that release comes out. And then here's some
But-
little content, that they have on the side.
I mean, with the way cinema is changing, especially with theaters right now trying to make a comeback and selling these extremely low price tickets and showing these
Sellout.
older movies just to kind of get you back in. I think it's nice. I love the movie theater experience. Personally, I don't feel it's the right time. With that being said, it would be nice to see a lot more companies, kind of jump on the bandwagon of this whole other platform that they have at their disposal. And you'd be surprised if they thought smart to release these movies at a decent price, for everyone to enjoy. They could be making a killing. I mean, think about it. You release a movie at $30, people are going to start questioning whether or not that movie is worthy the $30, because that's a big drop. But if you put a same movie for $14.99, right? Let's just hypothetically say $14.99. I guarantee you that is going to just sell like crazy.
I think
Because no one misses $15.
Yeah.
Your kid says right now, oh, Daddy, I want the movie. How much is it? $15? Whatever. It's not a big deal. You come and say, Dad, I want a movie. How much is it? $20, $30 to buy? Then you start questioning shit. Then you start opening up your bank app and you're like, oh fuck, hold on.
Bank app.
Let's see. Oh, we got electricity. We gotta get groceries. We got dog food. Then you start organizing shit. It's like, bro, be smart, Disney. Like just chill.
It's I think we're in a new time. Like even though that sold out, I don't think the theater model is gonna last, right? Because as the way the pandemic's going,
drive-in's where it's at.
Drive-ins are that, but like I even think of like another model, like hey, like they control the times that they're gonna release. So like you buy into a slot so your family can watch it like at a 7 or 8 o'clock, and then like maybe if you throw like $2 more into it, then you can control pausing it. During that time frame, like I think there's a couple of different other ways to explore it where they still control it, but like just like music, like I think they're gonna fight this to the tooth and nail to the very end.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna go like bankrupt, and then that's when you're gonna see the
they need to have PPV,
the switch go
personal party viewing. No, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like your own room, right? But small rooms, right? Enough for you to watch a movie comfortably, get food, and that's it. Right, watch your movie in your personal space and your deal, right? Social distancing,
almost like a restaurant, kind of like club setting, like little areas.
but it's still enclosed, right? So you could almost come out like a room, right? Separate like a hotel, but like cubbies. Think about it like cubbies.
So
like
will there be any backlights in these rooms? Because
I mean, I have no idea
ahead of time before.
But I'm just saying, I mean, you have these rooms. And I mean, they don't have fucking beds on there. You're not going to be fucking,
exactly
bed bugs.
I'm sure you've needed a bed for every encounter you've ever had.
Oh my god! So speaking about some other movies that were going,
I've heard of you like in trees,
ditto,
rocks, bro, grinding it out on sand.
Oh my god! So what you guys?
What else we got, Palo? What else we got, Palo? Before we keep going down, and we're gonna lose everything.
You've been to the Philippines. You've been to the Philippines.
I flew over the Philippines. Flew over it. I didn't land.
No, You were
You're
there.
gonna put
Hello,
up-
save us before we go down
I
a road.
know, man. We're gonna put up technical difficulties going on. Speedy and Noob having a little petty argument here.
Guys, we're veering off, guys.
Here I am trying
Oh
to
my
steer
God.
us back in the right direction. Anyways,
So
so another movie that came, that they put out a little teaser for was the Suicide Squad.
blah.
Just a little
Blah?
movie, right?
Really?
Just a little movie.
I mean, bro, I like Margot Robbie. I think she's a great actress when it comes to, like I said, we've had this discussion a million times. When it comes to, oh my God, Harley Quinn,
But
I think
remember,
she's
this
great.
is a different rendition of. The Suicide Squad.
I just, man, I'm sorry, but it's
This
like,
guy who watched The Tax Collector and then was like spouting it is gonna already like. You're making me have to defend this movie, and I don't even literally rushing out to see this movie. I'm gonna watch it,
I think it's
but like you're making me defend it like that. Well, bro, why are you putting me in this position?
you like all positions. You like all position.
I'm a two position kind of person. I'll let you guess him
He's
out.
just bitter from the other movie.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to make a decision.
Something that James Gunn said, it said in the deal, which is cool because you had the director talking about it. Would it change your mind, sir, if I said this has the most explosions and FX ever in a movie? Would that change your mind, sir?
I think he said that it was like the greatest movie he's made. I think
I
he said that in there, and I was like,
he
all
did.
right.
I think he did. I remember hearing that.
Michael Bay said the same thing. Okay. Okay.
So you call Michael Bay a liar?
I'm gonna have to wait till it comes out, man. I'm gonna wait till it comes out.
Michael Bay, you can respond to him at Noobface on Instagram. So.
Yeah, Noobface Games. Yeah, let's see you do that, Mr. Bay. Let's see you do that. Okay. I like The Rock, by the way, but yeah, that's about it. You fucked up with Transformers too, okay? by throwing those two geek ass fucking robots, you fucked that up real good. I'm telling you straight out.
Dude, I remember watching that, and then
you fucked it so hard.
One of my best friends from college sent me this list of like everything that was wrong about the Transformers movie.
What the fuck is with Bumblebee speaking at the end, and then the entire fucking series he's mute, as if he just like what the fuck? And then you throw some chick.
How did all the Transformers just drive through a forest and get into the battle? Like
then you got this organic chick who turns into a Transformer, right? To get Shia, and then you never see that technology again. What is up with that shit? Oh my God!
Do you need a break?
Yeah,
I think the topper was the Constructicons balls that were like dangling as he went up the like who wrote that in? Like,
yeah,
like, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the Constructicons to come together. They're gonna be climbing up the pyramid, and then for comedic result, we're gonna have two big balls just like in the guy's face.
Yeah.
Like,
how much money was spent on those balls? Let's be real. You could have saved
a couple of $100,000.
But what else do we got with DC?
They just used mine. They had to shrink it down because they're so big.
Speaking with some DC stuff, we do have a game that I'm actually really excited about. Bello, what do we have, dude?
So as far as games are concerned from the DC, we have Gotham Knights, and we have Suicide Squad Killing the Justice League.
I'm kind of intrigued about both.
So which one are we going to play?
Gotham, for sure. Only because it's very the engine seems like it's the same type of engine that was used with the Arkham series.
Yeah,
they did a really good job on those Arkham series. Like the playing, like I don't know how much you played this, Phil, but like I enjoyed playing it. It's pretty straightforward.
I played them all.
The only thing I can get is like sometimes the missions can get redundant, like the storylines, like the same kind of stuff. But I enjoyed it. I think
with them having, there's multiple characters in this. There's the 4 different characters in this game. I think that, that's going to help, keep it fresh throughout playing.
Yes. I mean, it's. I think one of the best things about it is the fact that it hypes you up with the whole Gotham idea, but it doesn't. But Batman's not a playable character, as far as we know.
Yeah.
But I think that's honestly one of the really, really, really cool things because you kind of let the B team, take a shot, and it's awesome because a lot of time. You got some really good stuff. I mean, we got Jason Todd. We got Red Hood. We got Nightwing. We got Batgirl. And is there one more?
Robin. It's Robin.
It's Robin.
course. Yes,
It's
Robin.
I
So
got a
it's gonna
problem,
be-
man. Why does Robin always have to have that little staff? Like it's like the tiniest, thin little staff. He's
Well,
like
he's like
smacking
the
people.
kid. He's like the
Oh,
latest version
man.
of Robin. So he's just.
He would beat your butt with that stick. Why are you?
Man,
Did you not see the footage?
it's
I would
just
have no
horrible,
chance.
man. Oh yeah, it'll be like
You ever been hit by a stick?
It'll be like the Indiana Jones scene where the guy comes out with the knife. He's like flipping it everywhere, and he's just like, and moves off. Like I'm like,
Speaking what a little
my-
trivia. Do you know why that scene took place?
Wow.
A little trivia.
in the movie.
Yes.
Why?
Because Harrison Ford had the flu. So he was actually going to battle that guy, but because he had the flu, he asked Steven Spielberg. He's like, "I'll just pull up my gun and shoot him," and they did it. Because he
It
had the
was
flu.
funny comedically.
Very well. Yeah, isn't it interesting
It's like
how
it's
just
like,
changed and just
man, dude,
and it was
thank
over.
you for
Yeah, he
bringing
had
your A game today. That was good.
had the flu, guys. What's up? True. We need to have a
He's
movie
got
trivia
IMDb up there.
session. We need to have a movie trivia session because that shit's fun.
Halo's gonna fail. We're gonna have to
Yeah, I'm
talk
gonna
about.
fail.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like I
Talking
know,
about
I know.
He's like, can I get the Star Trek commercial? Can I get
Yeah.
something? Who played the red shirt on episode 232? Who's the first to die?
That's cold, man. And so they also showed the Suicide Squad. I don't think they showed any game footage. They just showed just a trailer for it.
Mhm.
Well, and I know Noob went right past that Suicide Squad. Like the characters were kind of like
know.
all over the place. Like they announced the full fledged of characters that are going to be out there. We saw who Noob's favorite, the John Cena is going to play, and like like I always feel like it's a character like misfit group. But you know it is when you got what's his name, Pete Davidson coming in to be a character. So I'm like, ooh, like I don't know about that character choice.
Here comes the
Like,
salt.
did they just?
Here comes the salt.
Is that where they just
Sea
have
salt.
like, what do we got, guys? We've got like $500 left. Who can we get with that?
I
You
feel
know,
like it was
let's
a
get fucking
bet.
Pete Davidson.
I feel like it was like a bet or something that went wrong that James Gunn lost, and he was just like, or like Pete's mom called him up and was like, "Hey, James, remember that time you said you would do anything for me? I need you to at
I'm
least
calling
get him
in
out of the
my
house.
mafia.
I need you to call to get him out of the house. Just please, just do me a favor. He's been in the basement forever.
I hear him in the
Since he
basement.
moved
He's
back.
making noises, and I don't know what they are.
Oh, we know what they are. All the socks are coming out crisp.
Oh God Almighty!
No, but I'm interested because one of the things that was interesting about DC, this whole fandom, was like the breadth of characters that they released and they were talking about. So it just kind of gave us the idea to see some of these other ones, like Black Adam. They talked about it with The Rock.
There was no trailer, but
There was no trailer, but it's just,
Speedy
really
really
hoping for a
perked up.
trailer.
Speedy really perked up though.
oh man,
And he heard his
Maybe
two favorite
Rock.
words: rock,
The Rock keeps looking at you.
black.
He give you that eye. You know you got all warm in the pants, dude. Don't.
Warm in the-
I'm not the
If
only
I was
one.
wearing any, if I was wearing
I'm
any,
not the only one that was like, The Rock.
Bello's the one
Move
getting.
over,
He's,
Jason
look, Bello's getting
Momoa.
hot right up here. Look, he's
He's-
warming up. He's warming up.
sweating. He's
He's
sweating.
sweaty. He's sweaty.
Here, talk to
I-
Jordy. It's a little hot in here. You know?
Up there.
You fixed the
I-
background, but not the air. You know.
So here's
I
my
thought that was
thing.
interesting.
Now, how do you guys feel about Shazam versus Black Adam?
I think Shazam is more palatable to a young, like, you can point it towards like kids and stuff, where Black Adam, he's one of those flawed villains. I mean, it's not flawed villains, flawed heroes. So like there's a grittiness to him that isn't in a lot of comics. And like you were talking about earlier, like, man, this got you kind of interested in maybe downloading some of those old Frank Miller kind of graphic novels. Like that's the stuff that people really like see and get inspired off. Like, I don't think you're going to get that with Shazam. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be funny.
That was okay. But
Shazam is like one of the
little
comic
bit.
books you buy at the corner store. I think Black Adam is definitely one of those gritty graphic novels that you dig for. It's like I want a good story. Like I want something that
It's like the difference between like you being able to pick it up and be like, "Hey, mom, dad, can I buy this?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, go ahead, take that." And then they're like, "Hey, can I buy this?" And they're like, "No, put that down. Like, what are you doing? Get out of
Slap
that
it out of your
section.
hands! Don't you ever touch that!
I talk to you today. Don't ask." I'm like, yeah. So I
You guys
like the
have some.
grittiness.
You guys have some rough, some rough childhoods there. I'm just saying.
I'm not gonna disagree with you.
I'm not. We'll
No.
just have to continue because I'm not going to disagree either. Got my ass handed to me several times. Several times.
I enjoy the grittier versions of the anti-heroes kind of deal. Like the Dark Knight has always been my favorite. Like even like you take it to the level like with the Frank Miller comics, like just the stylization. Like I don't know, noob, like if you like that stuff just because like I know you have this huge affinity for Spawn and like that kind of fits into the same group set for me. And so like I would love to see something like that. Like I think that's why, like, of the Batmans, the Dark Knights are, other than the original, are my favorite. And when we talk about like DC kind of films,
So yeah, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. And just speaking to that, I don't know. It just like I just got this image in my head of just something I would like to have seen created, only because it has a really good story. I don't know if you guys have ever read it, but or even where it's at to this day. But I do remember there was this Image comic that I had picked up and I had started reading, and it was called Chew. And it was pretty much one of the most interesting style comics that I had read before started reading Sam and Twitch, which were the detectives who would work on the Spawn cases. But Chew was this, he was this guy who had this ability to physically chew a piece of flesh from somebody and physically tell their entire story, like where they've been, who, cut them, like if they were murdered, like who did it. Like he would get these visions, right? But it was an actual technical term that was used in the medical world, but it's a very, very, very like super rare like kind of condition. But of course, for purposes of the comic, it's fictionalized, to a greater extent, but it completely puts the tone of the series. And it's set in a time where eating pork or chicken, I believe, is limited, right? Like you can't go to a restaurant and just like order like chicken soup or like whatever, because there's like there's like this thing that's going on in the world, right? So there's a really scarce. But what happens is these people gather at like these diners that are like hidden establishments, but basically there's like this whole underworld conspiracy, which not only containing like this whole like meat epidemic, but it's also involving this serial killer that this guy's hunting down, but only his friend knows that he's got this ability. It's so fucking cool, dude. And I don't know where it's at, but just speaking about it just makes me think about it. And just think of if you had a movie like that was presented on the table from the comic world, stuff like that, Black Adam, these type of movies, this grittiness, these originality kind of deals, I think would be perfect for this time period, for what we're going through and what we're all experiencing. I think it's a great time to drop these kind of movies. And I'm fucking out.
so you like to what? You like to eat a lot of beef.
Beef.
Were they like nibbling or was he
beef
eating
cake.
it? Now I'm interested. Like, was he eating it or was he just like be like nibbling on your finger?
so in one of the series one of the series they find this woman who had been murdered, and she was like in an alleyway, and he's basically processing the scene. He knows of his ability, right? So he tries to hide it under wraps because his captain doesn't know. So what he does is while he's doing stuff, like he like cuts a piece and then he nibbles on it, and through the comic you just see this entire flashback of that woman's fucking day, bro. Like everything she did, like what's like he could taste, he could sense everything, and he could see the person, right? But when he got the vision for this one, it was like the shadow, right? So he could see but couldn't pinpoint, right? Which basically leads him into this whole thing. It's so fucking cool, dude. It was just such an awesome idea,
We'll just have you pitch it to Hollywood.
What's that?
So we'll just have you pitch it over to Hollywood.
I mean, man, all they would have to do is physically be that comic. I mean, it was so damn good. But it's just my point, like original ideas, and I think if you're making movie adaptions about something cool, it's worth digging into these type of graphic novels and comic stories and fucking make them, man.
Well, that's a good thing. What's been going on for the past couple of years. That's what Marvel's been doing. DC's trying to do. There's a lot of stories of that they can be pulling from the comic books that if they can make a really good adaptation to a movie, I mean they have plenty of material.
They do. I mean, from all of their characters, they all have their side stories, and some of them are very, very, very good. I know Flash has some very dark stories, graphic novels. Batman, Son of the Demon, where he's confronting Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's a lot of good stories, man.
That was another DC movie that came out today in the DC Fandom was about the Flash, and then about them talking about that again. No trailer with that as well, but it's just something that they're talking about because they're bringing back Ben Affleck and what's in my name.
I don't mind Ben Affleck as Batman.
I don't mind him either.
He's growing on me now that
they're bringing back.
Now that I've gone to
Batman.
Pattinson being the worst Batman, now Ben Affleck doesn't look.
It makes him acceptable.
It makes him palatable, sir. Palatable is the word.
You're using that word a lot. I think you like that. It's your new word.
It is. It was on my toilet paper vocabulary this week.
So you know what's funny though is, I mean, we saw that teaser trailer that had Pattinson in it, and
it's not even a trailer. It's like three pictures.
It's like a couple of pictures.
Like if you can't give me a trailer and give me him looking all brooding.
It was a teaser trailer.
Here, look here. Just superimpose a cowl on me, going like this.
So I'm. So
there's
it's so funny. It's so funny you say that, right? Because I downloaded this app. It was like an Adobe app, and hold on.
Him and his tech.
No, it's called Pixel Loop, right? And I was like, oh, this looks really cool. And I saw these images that you can create. So I actually did this one yesterday.
I don't want to see what you've done. Please have pants on. Please have pants on.
I don't know if you can.
I can see something.
Dang it.
Your face with the light in the background.
Oh,
how about you just send me the image and I'll post it? Your face. I got it.
No. But it's moving though. God dang it. It's just working.
All right, Bill. So what was your favorite part of DC? The DC fandom so far?
I'm thinking.
All of it.
All of it. Here, you could think. I think one of the coolest things I saw was just the interaction with the fans. Like one of the coolest things that I'd seen, and I'm not as artistically skilled like as New Faces. Like he does all these great drawings. That seeing Jim Lee talk to people that had submitted artwork, and then like him kind of tell them like what like dissect their images.
You fucked up.
Yeah, he's a much nicer.
Get this
person.
shit out of my face.
What the hell were you doing? No, he selected the people that he got to talk to.
Get your sharp work out of my face.
One is like, how cool would it be to submit something like that and be able to talk to, one of your idols who's doing this and then tell you how to improve your work. Like,
true. Very true.
Really amazing. And it was just
you talking about that. I'm going to go back and look for that because I'm really, really curious.
It was great. Really like the best one, like I was telling you guys earlier, is this one where this guy had drawn like an amazing like Batman, like his face was ripped off and falling, and he was critiquing and then talked about like how if he played more with light on the edge, like how he could make his image. And he did a couple of things, like I don't know, with his iPad or like whatever drawing system they do virtually. And dude, it looked awesome. And it's just really cool to see that kind of interaction. And I don't necessarily think you would get that at a Comic-Con like that, where like in this venue, like it allowed some of that. And so I actually really enjoyed this more than I would have had I been in a Comic-Con, because then, you got to walk everywhere. I'm lazy. I'm just going to get a scooter next time and be just driving around, bumping into people.
That's not nice. That's not nice at all.
Cool.
So, guys, I think this is a really good show. I think we definitely showcased quite a bit. We definitely dropped a lot of knowledge for people to go ahead and take a listen to. So, guys, I think we're going to call this quits. If everybody liked what they heard, if you got any constructive criticism, anything to say, please do us a favor and click that subscribe button below. Make sure those notifications are turned on. That way you guys will get notified whenever we post up a new episode. This is great. This is really good. And I just want to throw a shout out really quick because I have a really good friend that I've known for a very long time. His name is Todd Wright. And he actually has a podcast, or not a podcast, I'm sorry, but it's more like story production. And let me tell you, he does some really, really, really good storytelling. His voice is awesome. It's like made for TV. So if any of you guys
Like
are listening,
butter.
like butter, right? I mean, it'll put you to sleep. I mean, his voice has that, what is it, ASMR kind of deal. But he's got a YouTube channel, and it's called Like-Minded Lunatics Production. He does it with another buddy of his named Mark Gifford, and they both have an extremely good talent when it comes to storytelling. So if you guys want to hear something cool, do us a favor, go over to their channel, click the like button, and enjoy. And with that being said, I hope everyone has a good night, and later. Come on, guys, hit it, Jesus.